Nobody's coming to show you the exact way. There is no perfect map, no guaranteed route, no step-by-step plan that fits your life exactly. And that is the part most people are not ready to accept, because from a young age, you were taught to follow paths, clear paths, safe paths, proven paths, paths where someone else already walked before you. But what happens when the paths no longer fit you? What happens when you follow everything you were told and still feel lost? That is where your reality begins. Because not everyone is meant to follow a path. Some people are meant to create one. And creating your own path is not easy. It requires something different: clarity, courage, responsibility. The ability to move even when you are not sure where it leads. And that uncertainty is uncomfortable because there is no guarantee, no confirmation, no one telling you that you are doing it right. But that is also where your power is. Because when you build your own path, you are no longer limited by what already exists. You are not confined to someone else's expectations. You are not restricted to a system that does not fit you. You are creating something new, something personal, something real. Another trap is this: building your own path requires self-awareness, because if you do not know yourself, you will follow what others are doing. You will chase what looks successful even if it does not align with you. And that leads to frustration, because success without alignment does not feel fulfilling. So you have to ask yourself, what do I actually want? What matters to me? What kind of life am I trying to build? And those questions are not easy because they require honesty. They require you to think for yourself, not based on expectations, but based on truth. Another important part is decision making, because when you build your own path, you have to choose. There is no system choosing for you, no clear next step given to you. Every move is your responsibility, and that can feel heavy because now your results depend on your decisions. But it is also powerful because now your life is in your control. Not perfect control, but real influence. And what you build depends on what you decide to do next. There is also risk, because your path is not guaranteed. It may not work immediately. It may take time. It may challenge you in a way you did not expect. But risk is part of growth, because without risk there is no expansion. There is no progress beyond comfort. And people who build their own path understand this. They do not wait for certainty. They move with intention. They learn as they go. They adjust when they need it. And through that process, they grow. Not just externally, but internally. They become stronger, more aware, more capable. Because they are not just following a path, they are creating one. The hardest part about building your own path is not the work, it is the doubt. The moment where you question everything, the moment where nothing is clear, the moment where you feel like you are moving but not arriving anywhere. And those moments breaks many people, not because they are not capable, but because they are not used to uncertainty. They are used to structure, to knowing what comes next, to being told they are on the right track. But when you build your own path, there is no confirmation, no guarantee, no clapping for you in the beginning. And that silence is where most people stop. But the people who continue, the ones who keep going, even when it feels unclear, are the ones who create something extraordinary, because they understand something important. Clarity does not come before the journey, it comes through the journey. You don't see the full path before you start, you discover it step by step, decision by decision, and that requires trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your ability to figure things out, trust that even if things don't go as planned, you will adapt. And that trust is not given, it is built through action, through experience, through showing up again and again even when you are not sure. Another trap is this: your path will not look like anyone else's, and that is okay. Because the moment you start comparing your journey to someone else's, you lose focus, you lose clarity, you lose direction, because you are trying to follow something that was never meant for you, and that creates confusion. So you have to stay grounded, focused on your own path, focused on your own growth, your own progress, your own direction, even if it is slower, even if it looks different, even if no one understands it yet. Because building your own path It's not about being understood at the beginning. It is about being consistent, and consistency is what turns uncertainty into progress, step by step, day by day, action by action, until one day things start to make sense. Not all at once, but enough for you to see that you are moving forward, that you are building something, that your effort is not wasted. And that moment is powerful because now you are no longer adopting every step. You are trusting the process, you are trusting yourself, and that is where confidence becomes real. Not from knowing everything, but from experiencing enough to believe that you will figure it out. And that belief changes everything, because now you are no longer waiting for permission, you are no longer waiting for the right time, you are no longer waiting for someone to show you the way. You are the one creating it, and that is a power. So if you are watching this right now and you feel lost, understand this: you are not lost, you are in the process of building something that has no clear map, and that is not weakness, that is growth. Because every person who ever created something meaningful started exactly where you are, uncertainty, unsure, but willing to move anyway. And that willingness is what separates those who stay stuck from those who move forward. Because in the end, your path is not something you find, it is something you create. Through your choices, through your actions, through your persistence, even when things are not clear. Do not wait for everything to make sense. Start where you are, use what you have, move with what you know, and build as you go. Because one day you will look back and you realize that the path you were searching for was being created by you all along.